We talked about this a little bit, right? Research the reasons why people are relocating to this specific area. And I would even go as far as to make some relationships with agents, right? And those, and we're going to not referral, I see that on here, but I would ask the questions like, hey, do you notice people are moving out of your area? And why is that? Ask them, right? Because there may be something that you're just not aware of locally that's happening. Maybe it's the school system, right? Or maybe it's crime, or I mean, I'm not trying to get like all fair housing, but you know what I mean? Like find out from those people. Is it economical? Is it, I mean, like when I was in Florida, we had a BP oil spill and there were people that were like, I just don't want to deal with that. So I'm moving away, right? So the questions to the other agents in those cities. Connect with corporate relocation companies. It's a little harder to get your foot in the door with those, right? But it's worth it. And you have to talk to people, ask people, ask your neighbors. You would be surprised, people that work in these big corporations that have the connections you need. You just need to talk to the right people to get connected. Nothing's going to happen if you just sit back and wait for corporate reload companies to call you. It will never happen. They've got too many people just presenting them the information, and it's easier for them to go with those agents. So connect with those companies.
To that point, real quick though, Lauren, these companies are also relocating people back to their headquarters. So the last 2 years, they were fine with people working from home. I know firsthand, I have a listing coming up. They work for Google. Google was forcing them to move back to New York City. Like they either have to move back or they're going to lose their job. That is something important that I need to know, because now that positions me to understand them better. And then I can talk to them and say, hey, who else do you know that is having to move back to headquarters? Even if they're not in Raleigh, North Carolina, if they're in Charlotte, North Carolina, and if they're in Denver, Colorado, guess what? I have partner agents in those areas that I can refer them to that'll get their house sold so they can not lose their job and move back to New York City because of the forced relocation from your corporate job. FYI, you guys.
I would also say too, on top of that, Jamie, don't think outside the box. Okay. Like everybody right now, and I'm seeing the comments right now, will expect a 40% this and this and that. Look, corporate relocation departments do not always use big relocation companies like Cardis and things like that. Okay. There are plenty of big companies inside of your metro area that do not have any association with a relocation company. Get smart. Go outside the box, call the human resources department of some of the leading employers inside of your current market and say, like, how can I help? How can I help you and your employees relocate in the future? I realize that you may not have any business right now. I have a guide about relocating to a new metro area. Is that something, like, if I gave it to you, would you share that with some of your employees that are maybe moving out of the market? How helpful would that be, right? Like, you may not get that listing right this second, but you might get a listing 3 months down the road, or you might get a listing a year down the road. We're all still planning on being in this business at that point in time. At least I am. So stop with your limiting beliefs of, oh, it has to be a relocation company. It does not. You can just up and you can call a human resources department, work with the school districts, right? The school districts, though they may not be moving out of state, but their teachers still move, their staff still moves, right? So work with them and create classes for them. Maybe you even have a program where if it's a school teacher, that you offer them a little discount on your commission, or you offer them some closing costs on their next purchase, like a Hometown Heroes program. You can create your own Hometown Heroes program. So anyways, I want you guys to not focus so much on like, oh, well, I have to work with these like big relocation companies that are going to take half my commission. And by the way, for some of you ladies that are only selling 5 or 6 houses a year right now, you might want to take a commission that requires a 30% relocation or a referral fee to a company like that, because it's better than nothing right now, right? You're building your database. You're getting them into your sphere of influence for referrals going forward.
And if you leverage that listing correctly, that you're given a 40% referral on, you may get 3 other in the neighborhood, right? So it's all about doing the right thing. So that was good. And you know what else? Because we've talked about this, maybe it was coaching, along with the reload guides that you were talking about. We talked before about showing those human resources departments how you can help them make the transition easier. Like, my listings sell in X amount of days, right? And I get my clients 102%, right? You can pull your own data, whatever it is, but that's valuable to those companies, especially the ones that are offering their employees like certain packages, right? A lot of times it's based on how many days in between, you know, the one job and when they relocate. So kind of change your thinking on that. How can you help them make that process a little bit easier? I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Create content that speaks to people in this situation, right? So put yourself in their shoes. If you've ever relocated or know anybody that's relocated, you can ask again, dig for the information. Think what would, and you know, you can use, what's that website we use all the time? Ask the Public.
Answer the public.
Answer the Public. Yeah. So use that, use chat GPT, like figure out what are people looking for that are looking to relocate, right? And then create content about that so that it will speak directly to them in their situation.
This is where we talk about niching down, right?
Yep. You have to get in the heads. You got to get in the heads of those people so you can know what to create. Create the lead magnets that speak to potential relocation clients. And that is just kind of piggybacking off of creating the content. Yes, create the content, but don't give all the content, right? You have to get these people to reach out to you, right? So when you have the content, create lead magnets around that. Maybe
we're gonna go deep on that a little bit later too.
Okay, well, we'll go deep on that. But basically put yourself in their shoes and create content and lead magnets around that. Create referral relationships with agents in those cities that match the trends. I think that's huge. And we see you guys in the group doing that all the time. We love it. It's awesome. But maintain those relationships, ask the questions, serve those people well, and you'll continue to get business and go back and forth like that. And it's a win-win. So